Hi everybody, this is Curification. This is my third time recording this. Let's see if it works, okay? We're going to do a kind of walkthrough of paint To Sai. We're going to learn how to use some of the tools. This is a learning process. I don't know everything outside, and if you guys have any tricks or hints or anything, put them in the comments, and I'll be happy to show other people your tricks or hints, and I'll give you guys credit, because I'm not that kind of person. Okay, so I have a drawing that I've kind of already started, one of my 3 tries, for my god sister, and I'm going to show you guys some of the tools. I've already done the outline of the person with my paintbrush. Some people use the pencil. I like to use the brush. For me, it seems more solid. This is just a picture that I have taken off Google. I am not going to trace this. I'm using it for size, proportions, things like that. And then later I will use it to create my own drawing of Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash does not belong to me. Copyright, blah, blah, blah. So I've done the outline, and I'm going to show you some of the tools, okay? So let's zoom in. This is a zoom bar. You can zoom like this, or you can press the buttons. I like to press the buttons. It gives me more control. You can turn it with this angle button. You can turn it this way. You can turn it that way. To get them straight again, you just press the square that fixes it, I guess, to the screen. Let's see. Okay, so this stuff I'm not even going to focus on right now, okay, so I'm going to close it. This I'm going to focus on. Let's do the cell pen first. The cell pen is pretty much, I believe, the select pen. Let's pretend I did not like where this sword, it's going to be a sword, is located. So I just kind of color it in like I'm painting it, and it's going to be this weird blue look. I'm going to paint the arm too because I kind of like the angle of it, so I'm going to change it. Tilt it funny. And then you click the square button. I don't remember what it's called, but oh, the selection button. We're going to click the selection button. And I like the transform. You can use any of these to do different things. And you can turn it. You can resize it. You can hit OK to keep it, or you can hit cancel to cancel it. And then when it's done, it does the selection outline, the dotted lines. You just re-click somewhere else so that the dotted lines go away. Because if you don't, otherwise you can only color or draw in the selected part. The cell erase, pretty much it selects it, and then you're like, oh wait, no, I didn't want to do that, so you can erase it. Erase the different parts. I'm just going to click undo. Also, I wanted to show you this. I have a bamboo I don't know how to say this, Wacom, Bamboo Create, and it comes with a pen of, whatever. I use the pen, and I'm going to show you how to select, like I didn't click any buttons to, oops, I'm going to go back to pen. When I wanted to move it, I just clicked one of the buttons on the pen, and same thing with the erase, it's one of the buttons on the pen. And I can also hit undo with one of the buttons on the pen. So I went to others, and I clicked the keyboard shortcuts first to figure out what buttons are what, or to select a button. So let's pretend I wanted to have a button for brightness and contrast. Actually, I used hue and saturation. So I click O, I wanted O to be hue and saturation. So I re-click that, okay? So I remember O, and I'm going to hit OK. And then you go back there and you go to options, okay? Here it shows you your button settings. The eraser is the eraser. You can have it as different things. I use it as the eraser. This Control Z, which you guys know is the back button. I'm going to keep that. Let's pretend that, the Z is the grab. That's what I named it as. It's not usually that. So I wanted it as O, okay? So now I can change the hue and saturation button simply by clicking one of my buttons. And I'm going to change my hue and saturation to, let's see if it changes anything. Yeah, we can make it lighter by luminescence, but the black is hard to change colors. I don't know why, I'm just, whatever. So I'm going to hit cancel, and then I'm going to go back because I don't like it that way. And you can just change it to Z, which is what I have it as. Okay, so we're going to do a quick, I'm going to boop, boop, boop. I'm going to draw her face real fast, and then we're going to do the line art tool, okay? So I'll see you then. Okay, so I have done her face. It's just a really quick doodle and, you know, whatever. Right now I have selected her face, which is the layer 1. Well, actually that's her whole body, but whatever. I'm going to change the opacity. I'm going to lower it so I can kind of see past it almost, which is how I think of it. I'm sure there's a real term for it, but I'm not savvy like that. And then I'm going to click this button. It's right next to the new layer tool, and it's just called the new line art layer. Excuse me. I'm going to use the pen tool, and pretty much what this allows you to do is do line art. Okay, so this line art is approximately where I want it to be. Because I did my proportions first, I have a general idea of where everything should be. And I like it. Some people change their things drastically throughout their drawing, but I'm not that kind of person. Okay, so you can see how I messed up on this line. And I kind of did it on purpose, but usually I don't. I'm going to hit Control, okay, and you can see how these lines light up. When I hover over them, it turns red if I'm near that select personal one. This is just the line art tool. I'm not doing anything else besides holding Control, okay? While holding Control, you touch one of the little knob thingies, and you move it. And it changes your line, and it's good for, like, see how this line, it was supposed to be straight, but it's not, so you can just move one of the tools until it's the proper circle. Sometimes it does this, like it has like 3 dots in the same order. All I do is I pretty much just erase that line, and I hit Control, and then it goes to 1, and you can stretch these lines out as long as you want them to be. It doesn't always... Oh, okay. So see how it's this really straight line? Well, not like perfectly straight, but from here to here, it's too straight. What I use this is you can click a random spot and make another dot. And that helps me make it curvy with these lines. And I love this tool. It makes line art really, really easy. Okay, I'm going to show you something else, okay? So do you see how this eye just seems a little too far away? Like, I'm sure it's right, but to me right now it seems far away. So I'm going to move this eye and this eye a little bit over. I'm going to go back to the first layer, and I'm going to use Cell Pen, which is pretty much like the magic wand in this thing, except it's more detailed. It can tell you, like, whatever you color in is going to be moved. And they don't even have to touch, which is really cool. So I'm going to move this eye first, and I just hit the select button and I move it over. I hit the transform, and I move it. Let's move it. Oops, that's too low. Let's move it there, and you hit OK. And then you click away from it. And then I'm going to do it to this eye as well. I'm sure it was fine, but to me it looked funny, so I'm going to move it. And the reason I'm doing it here before I do my line art is because this tool... Ooh, I need to fix that. This tool does not work with the line art. I don't know why, but it doesn't. I'm going to move it over just a tad. And then I'm going to click away from it, because if you don't click away, you can only work in the selected area. I'm going to go back to the line art. I'm going to fix that weird thing, whatever's wrong with it. I'm going to click pen, because it won't let you do anything with this. So you have to hit pen again. And I'm going to move these things up. Oh, it's still gross looking. We'll fix that. Let's make that a little round. There-ish. I'm probably going to fix it later. But whatever. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to do her eyes. I need to turn it, because I don't draw straight. This is just a quick doodle, guys. The final product will be much better. Oops, that's wrong. And you can just hit Control Z or the button if you have it preferred. Is there? Okay, so I'll do her hair later, but that's a lot of work that I don't really want to do right now. Okay, I have, in one of my little mistakes, I found out that this colored line, it really is super awesome. Let's say that the kind of art that I want to do is I want to have her eyebrows the same color as her hair without the black lining. So her hair is like this light, this pretty brown, okay? All you have to do is click the line and it'll change that color. Like, how cool is that? I just found that out in one of my little tricks that I was learning how to do it. So yeah, so you don't have to actually have your pen as that color. You can just click it later. I'm going to show you some color tricks. I don't use many of these tools. Like, I don't use that. People do. I use this. I just recently learned how to use this. What you do is, let's say I really like this brown color, and I'm going to save it for when I color her hair. You right-click it, and it shows this little screen, and you click Set. Okay, and it just saves your color. It's super easy. And you can just hide it, and the color will stay there for later use. Yeah. See, my 3 tries. You can see. And then this, I don't use this color. I don't know what it does. I'm sure it's cool and interesting, but I don't use it. I use this one because I find it easy. You get the color and then you get the shade and then, you know, whatever the V and H or V and S stand for. Hue something something. Whatever. I use it for how I use it. Sorry for not knowing the vocabulary. I find this the most useful. Also, have no idea what that does. It just seems more difficult than what I'm using. This one also is good for if you're like, oh, I need the opposite of this color. You just move it to the opposite color. But that's good for doing pretty much only that. Because this does the exact same thing as this. It's just harder to find the colors. And as you can see, it changes. But it's all in the yellow area. But yes. So I use this and it saves me space. I'm going to show you how to paint. Let's just pretend that that's all real. I'm going to make another layer, just a normal layer, not a line art layer. And then I'm going to move this layer below the line art layer. And let's do her skinish. Skinish. Okay, so I'm going to use brush. And I'm going to put the blending up to 66. And I'm also going to change the size, which you just drag the thing. And you can see the little dot in the center of her face, where her eye is. You can see it, and I can make it bigger. Oh, see, there it is. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to actually have it 5, or 0.1 to not that big, because I'm super lazy and I'm going to cheat it. So this is the base skin tone that I'm going to have her, and you can do this a bunch of ways. I've seen it like 1,000 ways. If I were to draw out the hair and have the line, see, I can draw under the line and it doesn't change the color. So let's just do this really lamely. I know it's not perfect or anything. I'm just showing you the color. So that's what her skin tone is going to be. And let's say I wanted shadow. Okay? Because the blending is at 66, because it's a different color, it blends. And this is good for shading. I'm sure I could change the shading color, and let's just pretend that's where her hair would be, and then, you know, face, then her nose, and her mouth. And I know that's way too big, but I'm just showing you. I use the blur. Ooh, that's way too big. To make it so that the lines kind of, so it blurs. It blurs perfectly. I like this tool a lot better than in than Photoshop, because the one in my Photoshop, which is really old version, is really, really lame. It just is like, it's not very good. This blur is very, very strong, depending on what you change here. I find strong so that it blends well. Or blur, blend, close enough. And that's how I do that. Let's see, what else is there? And I can just make the color go away. Oh yes, another thing that I liked about this, SAI versus Photoshop, on mine at least, is that you can turn it like you can turn a piece of paper. And you can flip it, which I'm pretty sure you can do in Photoshop, but I don't do that. You can zoom. I know in my thing this zoom is easier to do than in Photoshop. You have to go to one of the buttons that are over here. You have to click this, and then you have to zoom in, and then you can't zoom out. You can't just do this easily. With mine, at least. It's probably different with everyone's, because you guys have like newer versions, but I like SAI better. I'm sure the same thing with attorneys. This square button just gets you back to your original position. Yeah. Okay, so if you were to open any of these, I don't remember what I've told you guys. I'm sorry, I've done this 3 times. This button shows you that this is what I'm working on. If I had a bunch of projects that I was working on, it would show their different names. You can just click them and unclick them and stuff. So you can work on like 3 different projects and I'll have them on the same thing, and this doesn't go away. You can't like accidentally X out of it. You'd have to click that, which I find useful. And it's also always out of the way. Like no matter what you're doing, it's always kind of out of the way, but you can see, oh look, I'm working on that. It's easy to delete a layer. You just delete it. Also, if I didn't like this layer, which I'm gonna undo this, but wait, I can just undo the color thing. Okay, so let's see. If I didn't like that, I can just erase it with this button. I find it super easy. It makes it easier than like erasing by hand. But it's only good if you just don't like that layer completely, but you want to continue to keep that layer. I don't know. I think that's it for now. If you guys have any suggestions or tips that you guys want to share with me, I will do them and I'll give you credit. I think I said this in the beginning of the video, but I don't remember. So enjoy. Have fun drawing, guys. I love to draw, and I hope you guys have as much fun as I do. I'll see you guys later. Leave a comment, please. Bye.